Oh look, it's sunny. Where might I be? Now, we're on the tiny island of Malta. If you don't know where Malta is, well, I won't blame you. It's a small island to the south of Sicily, which is more or less to the south of Italy, right got smack middle in the Mediterranean. Now, as you might imagine, that island is strategically important during the Second World War. Some people even go as far as saying that the failure of the Germans and Italians to take Malta contributed to their failures in Africa. Now, why am I here? Well, we have, let me just get a better angle here, the Air Battle of Malta Memorial Hangar. I'm gonna have a look inside and see what kind of gems we will find. First aircraft you see right there, Spitfire Mark 9. Now, I guess this aircraft does not really need an introduction. It's one of those iconic aircrafts of the war. Let's have a good look here at Mary Rose, she's called. And she's standing right in front of a 20mm Hispano cannon. Now, obviously, there's pieces missing here. By the way, red pants. For those guys who keep asking which kind of pants I have in my next video, well, it's red ones this time. Different red ones than last time. Next aircraft we have here, Tiger Moth. Extremely good aircraft, trainer aircraft. You could do aerobatics with it, instrument flying, navigation and so on. It's all in this aircraft, and the RAF used it for at least a decade, I think. Now, before we pan to the two gems, or at least in my opinion, two gems of this collection, I want to show you guys a picture. Now I took a lot of pictures here in the Malta Aviation Museum. All of them are up on my Facebook page, so if you want to check those out, just follow the link down in the description below. But here we have a Gloster Meteor F8, and it is being restored. As you can see, there are people working on it. What struck me the most here is that, well, you can only see one of them, but there were two young guys helping this elderly gentleman there, right there, who probably knows a little bit more about the aircraft than they do, to restore it. And these guys are younger than me. They must still be in high school age, really. And I found that actually quite interesting, quite amazing, really, to see people of that age helping out in a volunteer-run museum. So, yeah, very nice to see that. Anyway, let's swing around here, and we have a monster of an aircraft. Now, this is the... Oop, that's my water bottle falling to the ground. Well done, Bismarck, well done. Center of attention once again. But this is the Hawker Hurricane Mark 2A. Now, I know that for many of you, the Hurricane, next to a Spitfire, there can only be one winner, and that's the Spitfire. For me, however, this is the real winner. This is the real aircraft that did the work for the RAF, at least during the Battle of Britain. Of course, and later on it kind of became obsolete, but there we go. Very nice to see. 4 machine guns on this side, 303s of course, and 4 there. Now, why is this wreck important? Well, guys, this is a Swordfish. Well, this used to be a Swordfish. It's probably still in a state where you can restore it, but it's very nice. You can actually look inside and see some of the levers there. That's the pilot's stool right there. I'm not sure if you can actually make it out, but there's where the machine gun would go. There's the cockpit. There's those struts for the wings that would be here. Actually, let me just put the bottle down. The wings would be kind of here. Very nice to see. Well, in pieces, but it still exists. It can still be restored. What I also really like about these kind of volunteer-run museums is that, well, you've run into gems and stuff, and it's just lying around, like this turbine of some description. I don't know what it belongs to, probably some civilian aircraft, but you can touch it. You can touch it, and that's nice. We also have some old piston engines here. I don't know what they are. They're sizable, so it's either, well, it must be American then, if it's this big of a piston engine. And then we have this hand-cranked crane. which actually, you know what? Let's see if it still works. It does kind of work. Is the ball moving? The ball is moving, so yeah, it still works, you know, and this is this kind of interactivity that I'm talking about. This is what the museum should do. I'm not sure if this was, you know, done on purpose, you know, however they thought about, you know, some crazy German popping up and starting to touch everything, but very nice. Let's see if I can find other little gems hidden around here in Malta. Find a few more gems. The condition they're in, well, questionable. But you know, if this video does inspire you to you know, check out this museum on your next visit to Malta, do so. It's not that expensive. You know. But yeah, this is the cockpit, as far as I can tell, of a vampire. It's not in a good state. I have pictures of the one they have here in a restored state on my Facebook. So as I said earlier, go and check that out. But there you have the tail and the wings, and yeah, a lot of dust on here, but I always find that gives it a certain amount of charm. I might be the only one thinking so, but again, we can touch. History is alive, boys. History is alive. One-armed bandit, I don't know what they're called in English actually. Maybe something the RRF pilots used to spend their allowance on. Who knows? And then we have big radial engine. And if you've ever wondered, how does it work? Here's your answer. That is in each cylinder, and it's getting, you know, pumped in and out as this thing turns. Yeah, this is once again, you know, one of these nice little things about these non-professional, let's call them, you know, volunteer-based, enthusiast-based, passionate-based museums, that they have these things lying around. And you can have a look. Also, you know, these valves and shit. I mean, you know, this probably doesn't interest you all that much, but things like this, you know, it gives you an idea. You look at this and you're like, how does it work? You look at that, and it immediately makes sense. We also have a DC-3 here, but what I want to show you here at this point is the tail of the DC-3. And these are the cables that make everything work. You know, these are what allow you to steer your aircraft. And just imagine, you know, if one of these things gets hit by a round, you know, a direct hit to it, it could snap. You know, or a 20mm round just exploding next to it, shrapnel hits it, tears a hole and views, and then it rips off. You know, it's precarious to say the least, and that's how you sometimes have lucky hits. You know, with just a few rounds you knock out an aircraft just by damaging these things. It's unlikely, to be honest, that something like this gets hit. It's more likely that, for example, this breaks, I think, than these control cables, but then again, it is a possibility. You can see the wing of the DC-3. You know, sturdy construction all around. These are not bullet holes, by the way. They're just corrosion and, you know, time taking its toll. A 20mm round would probably also do a bigger hole than this, to be honest. 20mm round hitting with, you know, a good angle, probably like this. Probably. Maybe even more. You see some pictures of, you know, an aircraft getting hit by a single 20mm round coming back with a huge hole in their wing. You can still fly at that point, you know, if, let's say, this part of your wing, let's get a better picture, is missing, you can still fly, no problem. As long as nothing vital is hit inside, you know, like control rods going to the ailerons, for example, which would be there. Then you have your Hawker Seahawk and the restored Vampire, as promised. And we also have this very interesting apparatus. It's been donated from Mr. and Mrs. Manfred Juncker from Germany. So direct import from the Fatherland, yeah. You can see cables going here. And, well, as the description says, as you guys can see yourself, the cockpit is completely darkened off. A pilot cannot see outside and he has to navigate with his instruments only. I will give you a quick snapshot here of some of the other exhibits that we have in this hall, this hangar here. Over there they're also working on a plane, and over there you can't really see it right now. They're restoring the Gloster Meteor. I have 1 more hour until the next bus comes, so I'm gonna be enjoying these planes a little bit more, and I wish all of you guys a great day, good hunting, and see you in the sky. And there's the Gloster Meteor! Did you really think I was that mean and not give you a look at the Gloster Meteor, huh? Well, usually I am that mean, but here you go. You have a little bit of a look. And there you go. That's where the cannon goes, right there. This is how it's gonna look closed up. And if we pan it around, get a look at the specific, well, how shall I call that? Well, the markings obviously, but I don't know if these are specifically for a squadron or something, what these mean. If somebody of you guys know, maybe this is like some sort of, I don't know, Mediterranean or carrier, I don't know. My knowledge does not extend that far when it comes to the British markings, or maybe this is just, you know, an artistic license that somebody took. Decided to show you guys one more thing, actually 2 more things. First of all, this is a Fiat jet, yeah. Parachute. This is, you know, this opens up on landing once the pilot hits the release button, and the parachute comes out and the aircraft brakes. And once again we can touch history's alive. Anyway, there we go. T6 Texan. The reason why I want to show you guys this is because we can actually have a look inside the cockpit, and you know, a few landing gear. This you can actually move, but I'm not going to because I don't know what's gonna happen. You cannot swivel this. Can you touch this? Well, you know what, I'm gonna stop touching things because, you know, I'm getting excited and all that stuff. But the layout, as you can see, is nearly the same for the pilot and for the co-pilot, which on this aircraft obviously makes sense. And I'm gonna get the camera inside here, have a look at those instruments. Not all of them are mounted. Joystick, well, not the joystick, the control stick, and a few more dials and bips and bobs over there. Left pedal, right pedal, and here are a few control rods that obviously move, they're on hinges. The electrical system between the co-pilot and the pilot. And let's try to give you a better look here. I really should invest in a better camera. These are the moments when I realized that. Footrest, of course, footrest, important on a plane. And yeah, oh yeah, and the control cables we talked about earlier, these are them. Okay, here we go. And actually, when you look at the stick, let's see if we can follow the, there we go, there, and we go up. It's probably centralized, so to the point where if you make a left roll, for example, if you push the stick all the way to the left, it's gonna do the same thing with that stick. Anyway, that is me really done for the day. You know what, it's not. Look at that, they're restoring the wing of this Grasshopper. Small engine now, that's like a 4-cylinder engine. Look at that. Ooh, and there you see the cylinder. What do you call it in English? Well, you guys know, you know, it turns and the cylinders go up and down. It should be mounted here in the middle, and then, you know, as it turns, the cylinders get knocked in and out, and there's another one. I guess they're replacing one of them. And let's have a look at the wing. Very simple construction. So yeah, and that brings us really to a close now. As you can see, we actually made the big turn, and I better check the time now because maybe the bus has arrived. So this time for real, guys, I hope you have a great day, good hunting, and see you in the sky. It hasn't arrived yet, so I have time to show you one more thing. A chair on a metal plate attached to a rod, attached to a string. Don't ask, just don't ask.